What's going on, guys? Phase 3 or Stage 3 is out for the Future Stars Evo, but do not make this mistake again. As you can see, all three of them are out, and if you've probably waited by now you can make the best decision. Now, before that even happens, something you got to bear in mind is you need to make sure you've redeemed the playstyles and done all the scout reports. It is the most important thing, because when you go to that icon level thing, you can't do it. So I'm just going to show you what I'm going to choose. So I've done a scout report. I've done a 5-star skill moves, 5-star weak foot. I've done all of that before previously. And you can see here, I need to win 3. And then from that, I then get the objective. And you can see I can now do the skill moves or weak foot. So I'm just going to press triangle, reveal all. This was glitched, but thankfully now it's fixed. I'm actually messed up on my main account. So for Nwaneri, I am doing the weak foot upgrade +1. I'm going to redeem the item. And then also from the same thing here, you can see you get the whole objective. This is for the playstyle plus. Now for Nwaneri again, let this load before the servers mess up. Now I've explained what's the best playstyles to go with. I'm going with Tiki Taka. I've already got quick step on him. And then I'm going to press redeem that. Now, unfortunately, the only downside is when you do all these, unfortunately, the only thing that really sucks is you have to then go to My Evolutions. And then you got to do it one by one. Is it here? Well, it's somewhere here. Future Stars Academy. There it is. The weak foot and Tiki Taka. So you got to put Nwaneri in and then you got to do them. So that's the first bit, okay? Now, this is the most important thing, right? The Future Stars evolution, EA Sports have told us that you need to make sure, and you can see this on foot.gg as well, that you've completed everything. So like the weak foot, the playstyles, before you go into phase 3, okay? Very, very important. So before you go into phase 3, you need to make sure that you've done everything properly. Otherwise, there could be a chance that you could miss out. So you can't go backwards. So you have to make sure you've done the scout reports first before anything else. And you can see this here. I think you can see like here, the first scout report, the second scout report, and then you have to do all of those before you go into the third stage. So before you make this an icon level player, icon rarity, you need to make sure you've applied the regular play styles, the pluses and everything like so. Now, as you can see, I've got different options. Okay, so now we're just going to go over the stats boost. Then we're going to go over to foot.gg and have a look at the combinations. Now, as I mentioned to you, I waited. So for the dynamic defender, you can see, let's say in some rare situation, look, you can see he's actually some pretty good boost. No playstyles. I was thinking maybe will there be any playstyle boost? Because, you know, we had that card before. And I was thinking, you know, that the jockey playstyles and a few other stuff. Will there be like another option for playstyles? But there isn't. That's pretty cool. Aspiring attacker. The pace is capped at 95. Physical is 88. The finishing is 95. And a methodical midfielder. What's the passing like? Short pass. So look, to be honest, I think aspiring attackers looking at the best one. You can see, for example, like here, look on the left-hand side. You need to have a minimum of 8 playstyles and playstyle pluses. So you need to make sure you've done the scout reports. Otherwise, you can't do the final icon level version of the card. Now, we've come over here to foot.gg. You can actually go on to the Evo lab. And then what you can do here is you can search for a player. So let's say let's say you chose Nwaneri. And then, for example, you could hypothetically tank him up. So you could say, okay, you want to do this one. And then you want to evolve them like that. So you can actually sort them out like this. So you select Dynamic Defender 3. We're gonna have a look at some of the evolved players now. So let's have a look at some of the players that I really want to look at. So you can see with the number 3, this one is using Methodical Midfielder. So look, you can see here. So technically speaking, depending on what you want, you could actually adjust this to however you want. This one is going to be where you need to really think about this. When does this expire? Let's have a quick look. This expires, so you got a lot of time. You have actually you know what? I'm probably going to say, I know you're going to want to rush this, but you got 10 more days. I would say, wait a little bit. I think the websites haven't got so when I go to Evo Labs, as you can see, the website hasn't got the full evolution paths. So if I choose, for example, Nwaneri, it hasn't got the full path that I could choose. So what I would say possibly it's worth waiting here. Because don't forget, so if I did Dynamic Defender 1, then I did Methodical Midfielder 2, and then I did... Is this even possible? Pretty sure it is, right? Okay, so the sites are not there yet fully. So what I would say is possibly just wait. Like unless I'm wrong here, just probably let's have a look at some of the cards anyway since we're on this. But I was just saying just wait. So aspiring attacker, this is the one that I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Nwaneri. And he looks pretty tanky here. 92 sprint speed, 94 finishing, 99 agility and balance. The card is so meta here. The card is very, very good. Now, as I said, I've chosen a 5-star weak foot, tiki taka, and quick step. For a cam, which is I'm going to play him, or even for a winger, he's exceptional. He's playing beyond his beyond the cards. It's crazy how this is a Team of the Year blueprint. This is a free version as well. They've given us such meta cards here. And that's why I said it was very, very important for you to wait before you made those rushing decisions of choosing your playstyles. Because depending on where you want to play the player, I know you're kind of forced to whoever you were chosen with initially. But now, look, the only thing that really lets this card down is the long shots. The long shots really let the card down. That is your... And that's because it's going to aspiring attacker. So maybe I'm thinking here, unless I'm wrong, we can mix and match these up. So what I'm probably going to do is, I'm going to be honest, I'm just going to wait a little bit. Because let's say we filter to these. So do you see how his long shots can be improved here? Let's do use exclude unselected evolutions. We're going to press apply here. Okay, so do you see, this is what I'm trying to say was so important. This website, you're watching this around about 6 p.m. It hasn't been fully updated yet. But do you see how we're able to change his long shots slightly? Just a little bit. But you can see now his long passing and his passing isn't as good. So when you're building these cards, you really got to be careful of what card you're choosing, what combination you're choosing, because there's so many combinations. For example, like this one, you can see has 83. So you can see the big difference. You see, and he's got much better on this one, on this combination with all the aspiring attackers. You can see he's got much better finishing. So these are all the things that you're going to need to take into account. And you can see this one has more curve. So maybe if you've chosen the dead ball playstyle, you could argue the change of getting Methodical in would be more appropriate. So to be honest, these combinations will purely depend on either the path you've done so far or what you want from the player. Let's say, for example, you want to play with better long shots. You might err towards going on the full aspiring. Whereas, for example, if you wanted to, although the free kick is going to be different, but let's say you wanted to maybe wanted a better passer, then you would go, for example, methodical aspiring. So there's so many combinations to actually choose. So you know what my best advice is? Let this whole website sort out and then build the potential card that you want to build, because there is so much variety. So everyone else, let them rush. In my opinion, wait. On my second channel, I may re-upload this video again with the new changes. But as it stands at 6 p.m., there's been no updates. And if I go here to, if I go over to evolutions, one way you can do it is go to evolutions here, go to trending players. We're going to put aspiring attacker. I might as well do it since we're here anyway. And then we're going to do exclude unselected evolutions. Let's have a look at Nwaneri. We're going to have a look at some of these cards now. So Nwaneri we saw pretty cracked. I don't have any qualms about him. Reactions are not that important. People over exaggerate the importance of reactions. Long shots could be better, but I haven't got a finesse shot, so it's not the end of the world. And you can see that's the same thing. You can see with all three aspiring attackers, Mark Gui, then I say his name, with a 5-star weak foot, he's going to be a bit taller, but look at that, 99 shot power, 95 finishing. That's some really good combinations you have there. Now, this is the card that I really wanted, Marcus Leandro. To be honest, if you chose 5-star weak foot with this card, you are honestly winning. Look at those stats. Imagine you have a pure striker, 95 finishing, 95 shot power, 92 agility, 91 balance. He's got 95 reactions because his default card had a bit better reactions. And that sprint speed. You put a hunter on this card now. You don't even need a hunter, but you can put a hunter. You can probably even put a hawk. Might be even better, arguably. It depends on what exactly you want. But I will just max out that sprint speed if I'm not going to use the long shots inside the box or whatever you want to use. 5'9". On the ball, they're going to be so agile, so smooth. So that is very, very interesting. And this is why I'm saying is to wait, because you can see like here, there's a few other cards. We're just going to look at some of the attacking players. And then what I want to do is I want to show you Methodical Midfielder. Methodical 1, 2, 3. We're going to choose only selected Evos. I'm just going to go here with the cards that I think most people are probably going to have. But don't get me wrong, there's other cards. And then we're going to go to Dynamic Defender as well. So this is the way you have to bypass system currently if you want to do it. So you can see, and Nwaneri. But technically speaking, you can do Dynamic Defender 3 as well. So let's say, for some reason, you wanted Nwaneri to play as like a box-to-box player. Let's say he could play centre mid, and you wanted up his defensive awareness, you could do that. So that's what I'm trying to say. Depending on what card you've chosen, you got to be very, very careful on what you do choose. Have a look. Van Bommel, actually another decent card as well. A bit on the tall side, but still a very, very good card if you want him. If you chose him, you chose him. That's not a very good card. 5'7" as well. She can play striker, so don't think about this carefully as well. 5-star weak foot. You're talking about some really good cards here. So there's so many good combinations. But yeah, that's my advice. 5 foot to maybe sometimes too short, but she's actually a very good card if you've chosen. Like she can play all those positions. So look, that is my advice. Methodical Midfielder Nwaneri. So you can see now he's a bit of an overall beast. You see that? So he lacks the finishing and the shot power go down. So you haven't got an aspiring attack anymore. But you can see his agility and balance are still somewhat the same, but he's got much better passing. So depending on what route you want to take, what I'd recommend is going into the... So this is what my opinion is. Wow, he actually looks god tier. Look at this Pisili. Okay, so what I'd recommend is, look, the truth is, these videos that you're watching, they're not going to help you. Only you would know what playstyles you've chosen, where you want to play that card. So what I'd recommend is have a look at all the different variations. So have a look at, methodical, aspiring, methodical, whatever, defender. So look at all the different combinations. Lewis Hall, pretty decent card as well. You see now he's become more like a CDM. So have a look at every single different variation. So what I'd recommend is probably look at this card. Bloody hell. So what I'd recommend is going into the Evo Lab and doing this yourself. Because truthfully, only you would know what playstyles you've chosen. If you have dead ball or you're making a card more of a CDM card, then you might need, for example, might be thinking, let me make him purely a CDM card. Maybe you got the CDM playstyles, you can make him more attacking. So truthfully speaking, out of everyone, only you would know what combination to choose. But what I would say is, whatever you do choose the card that you want. Go to like here on the evolution thing, and then start tinkering around. Use Dynamic Defender, whatever, or like Aspiring Attacker, Methodical 2, Aspiring Attacker 3. Test them all out and see exactly which ones you want, and then make the decision. So compare them all, and then ultimately make a decision. That's my advice. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace.